In this video, I'll show you exactly how I implemented private image uploads using Supabase Storage. So for my career tracking app releasing soon, I'm using the TipTap text editor. The editor stores content as JSON, which I simply store in my database. Everything is smooth and breezy until you consider images and GIFs. When a user drags or uploads an image into the editor, you have a few options for how to handle it. Now the most basic option, and the one I started with, is to convert the image into base64 encoding, which is just a large string, and store the image element as part of the JSON directly into your database. The issue with this approach though is that base64 encoding is quite inefficient and will take 37% more space than the original image. So if a user uploads a 3 MB photo, the base64 string being stored into your database will be 4 MB large. With a couple of these images here and there, you'll be storing 10 MB rows into your database, which means slower queries, bigger backups, and caching issues. Therefore, I turn to the next bad option. When the user uploads an image, I immediately upload it to a storage provider and store the image's public URL in the database. I'm not gonna lie, it took me a couple days before I realized the glaring issue with this approach, that everyone's images would be publicly accessible. Even if the random URLs are difficult to crawl, it would be possible, and that's unacceptable. Finally, I realized that I needed a way to store images in such a way that only the person who uploads them may access them. Now, since most of my app already relies on Supabase, like a good naive founder, I thought why not rely on Supabase even further for storage. But it's just so convenient. Supabase Auth ties directly into secure storage, as the row level security policies let me grant users access to only their own uploads. Now after uploading the image to Supabase, we store the resulting file path as the image's source attribute. If a bad actor somehow accessed the user's notes and found this image file path, they wouldn't be able to see the image since they don't have access to the file. Alright, now how do we display the image when we just have a file path and no URL? Using a custom extension of the TipTap image node, we can grab the file path, ask Supabase for a temporary URL for the image, and then display that URL. And there we have it. It took some iterations, but that's how I implemented secure and private image uploads for my app. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If this video was helpful, consider leaving a like and subscribing for more. Otherwise, I will see you in the next one.